Good morning, everybody, and as they say at the Black Spire Outpost at Galaxy's Edge, bright suns. I'm Eric Walker for All for Sci-Fi, and today we're talking about The Mandalorian Chapter 6. The Prisoner is the name of the episode, and it was directed by Rick Ferrarama. I'm probably saying the pronunciation wrong. I'm terrible with names, so forgive me, Rick. So, also a quick announcement before we get started. Next weekend, for The Rise of Skywalker, if anybody who's watching this video lives in the Dallas area, Dallas, Texas, myself as well as other Star Wars alumni are going to be at Order 66 Toys. So come on out and meet all of us, say hi, get an autographed picture. I'm going to be there. Mark Dotson's going to be there, who plays Salacious Crumb and also does the voice of Teak in the Ewok movies, with myself. Very important, Mike Quinn, who plays Nien Nunb in The Rise of Skywalker, and also some other characters in the new movie is going to be there. Big old Mike Quinn, we love him. Felix Sela, who played an hang glider Ewok in Return of the Jedi, is going to be there. And Stephen Constantino, who played a Gamorrean guard in Return of the Jedi. So all five of us are going to be at Order 66 Toys in Allen, Texas, at Fairview Station. It's a suburb of Dallas, Texas. So if anybody's near Dallas, Texas, or in a general area, Fort Worth, or anywhere in Texas, come on out and say hi to all of us next weekend, the weekend that Rise of Skywalker opens. We're going to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right after the opening, and we'd love to see you guys come there. And as always, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up below. Also, if you haven't done it already, please subscribe to this channel so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. And we're going to be uploading a lot of videos, especially since we're going to the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker in Dallas with all the other Star Wars alumni. So make sure you definitely subscribe now, because you don't want to miss out on when we're there live streaming from The Rise of Skywalker. And next year we're going to be doing a lot of videos from Galaxy's Edge as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Chapter 6, The Prisoner. I have to say, this episode was just... It was not only great, it was marvelous because it had a lot of guest stars in it. This episode was very heavy with a lot of guest stars, and I'm not. When I get ready to give any spoilers, of course, I will warn you guys. At first, I'm just going to give the rating and talk a little bit overview about the guest stars that are on the episode, and then when I get into a full breakdown, of course, I'll put up their spoilers so you guys, if you haven't seen it, you could pause and come back and watch this video later. But Chapter 6. It had, as Ranzar Malk, it had Mark Boone Jr., it had Bill Burr, who was playing Mayfield, it had Clancy Brown from the Shawshank Redemption, playing Berg, a Devron named Berg. It had, playing, of course, in all the episodes, all the trailers, we see this Twi'lek character. We finally get to meet the Twi'lek. It is, the Twi'lek's name is Shihan. I hope I pronounced the name right, and that's played by Natalia Tena, who of course was in Harry Potter. Also, seeing a very big theme of comedians in all these episodes. It has another famous comedian playing the droid in this episode. Zero is Richard O'Rourke. So yeah, I'm seeing a pattern where they seem to have these comedians almost in every episode, and that's great. And there's also some other really interesting things right at the end of the episode, but we'll save that for the spoilers. So if you haven't seen Chapter 6, The Prisoner, we're going to do some spoilers. So see this. Oh, before we do the spoilers, I forgot. We do the rating first. Okay, so let's do the rating. Chapter 6 gets, let me think. It almost got it, guys, but I'm going to give it 4.75 stars. So it almost got 5 stars. It's just not quite as good as the premiere episode and another one of the episodes that I gave a 5-star rating to. But Chapter 6 gets 4.75 stars. And yeah, it's that good. It's a great episode. So let's talk about that episode, okay? So the episode, and again, the thing I like the most, and the other thing that's very interesting is all the rumors were that the Mandalorian was going to take off his helmet in this episode, and also that Moff, one of the Moff guys, was going to be in it, and he wasn't in it. So that's just something, a spoiler right there. The Mandalorian doesn't take off his helmet in this episode, although they talk a lot about it. But here goes the spoilers, okay? So The Mandalorian Chapter 6 starts with the Razor Crest landing on Rand's. They call him Rand, but Ranzer Malk's, he has a platform. So he's landing, he's coming in from space, and he lands the Razor Crest on his platform. And they start talking, and you find very quickly that Rand and the Mandalorian have quite a past. They've done a lot of jobs together, and Rand jokes with him about it. Love that character, played by Mark Boone Jr. Has this great beard. It's just a great character, and he did a great job as well. So they're talking about their past, and Rand has a job for the Mandalorian. He has a job that he says needs 5 people, and he already has 4 already. And then but the 5th person, he jokes with him and says it's the Razor Crest. That the only reason why he's given him the job is because he has the Razor Crest. That's not all true, but he's a kidder. He likes to joke with and set him off. There's a lot of really great banter between these two characters. So he starts to introduce the rest of the team. The team is led by a character played by Bill Burr. His character's name is Mayfield. And he's going to run the show, and Rand tells him, he's in charge. Didn't set too well with the Mandalorian because, but anyway, Mayfield's in charge of the mission. And then he introduces him to the rest of the characters. He introduces him to Berg, who's played by Clancy Brown. I said the name wrong. He introduces him also to the Twi'lek, who's a female, played by Natalia Tena. And he introduces them to the droid, Zero. And, of course, he doesn't like droids again. That's evident as well. Also notice that the Twi'lek character, they seem to have had this, it's implied that then maybe the Mandalorian and her had a relationship. So, and she's this very sensuous character. It's kind of cool. So, they talk about the mission. The mission is what they're supposed to do is they need to break out one of the prisoners on a New Republic prison ship. So that's the mission. They're going to break into this New Republic, prison ship. And of course, the Mandalorian says, "I don't think we should be doing that. That's like way overboard." But he needs the mission. He needs the money. We don't see the Baby Yoda character. We don't see the kid at all in the beginning. He comes later. They actually accidentally discover when the Mandalorian and Berg get in this little wrestling match and fight. He accidentally opens up the area where the Baby Yoda's at, and they start looking at the baby. That's right before they begin their mission. But I mean, there's some really, 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 really great dialogue in this episode, just like all the rest of them. In fact, you have Mayfield looking at the Razor Crest and saying, "Geez, that looks like a slot machine on Canto Bight." So he makes fun of it. And at one point, when they're having a discussion about why the Mandalorian doesn't take off his helmet, Mayfield even jokes with him. And there's another great line. He says, he kind of talks like Jar Jar Binks and says, "What are you, a Gungan underneath that?" So that part was great. So anyway, they get to this this prison ship. And they break in as they're about ready to find the prisoner. And we don't know who this prisoner is the entire episode, by the way. It's been kept a secret. But they need that's the job to break out this prisoner. They were told that this prison ship only has droids on it. But turns out there is really one person. There's a human there. And it's a New Republic officers there. And what's great, these cameos are great because the New Republic officer is played by Matt. What's his name? Matt. That's his name. Okay, no, Matt Lanter. And you might remember Matt Lanter because he's the voice of Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars. So it's great that they got him. He only did voice, but it's great that they got him on camera. And what happens at the end of this episode is great as well. And we're going to get into that in about a minute. But so they're really, when they run into this New Republic officer, he's got one of those homing beacons, and if he hits the button, all hell's going to break loose, and a bunch of New Republic ships are going to show up, and they're not going to have any chance. So they have this little quick back and forth, and they want to kill the New Republic officer. And Mandalorian, he's starting to show that this guy has heart. You know, he's starting to really show that he has a lot of heart. So he says, no, we're not going to kill him, and they have a face-off, and then the Shihan character, the Twi'lek, throws a knife and kills him real quick. End of discussion. So anyway, they end up finally finding where this prisoner's at. Of course, as they're walking around, you see all these great, glorious, different Star Wars, alien creatures. It's awesome. And they break out the prisoner, and it turns out that it's another Twi'lek, but a male Twi'lek. And guess what? It's Shihan's brother. I think his name was Quinn, if I remember correctly. And he looks at the Mandalorian and says, thanks. First you leave me hanging, and I get caught, and now you're breaking me out? What's the irony in that? Apparently the Mandalorian and him have bad blood. So something happens, they have a little bit of a fight, and they push the Mandalorian, and they lock him in to the prison cell and say, we're going to leave you here. So, and it's ridiculous. He's helping him, and that's his ship. So they double cross him. But, of course, the Mandalorian, being, as resilient as he is, a few minutes later, when another droid is walking by, he grabs him, kills him, grabs his arm, and opens up the door so he gets back out. And then he proceeds to lock down the entire prison ship, and it's implied that he kills all of them. And then he gets back on the Razor Crest. He does kill the droid Zero. And in between all of this, the baby does a little thing where he gets out, and Zero the droid sees the baby, and they have this, like, he's hiding from him. It's really cute. This episode is just, it's a nice change of pace, and it's different than the rest, but it's great. And I said this, I think once or twice, but there is nothing better on television or out there streaming than The Mandalorian. There's nothing out there that is as good as this. Okay, so he, right at the end, right as Quinn is about to escape, he kills all of them but Quinn. And Quinn is about ready to go up into the ship. He's about ready to kill him, and Quinn convinces him the code is, you take me in, follow the code so you get paid for the job. So he ends up letting him live, and he goes back to drop him off. He finishes getting his bounty, and he gets, of course, Rand pays him, and right as he says, thank you, it's a code, you need to pay me. Rand gives him money. He takes off, and then Rand hits a button, says kill him. He's going to double cross the Mandalorian and have a ship destroy his ship. But right as he does that, guess what? Quinn looks down, and he's holding that homing beacon. So now the New Republic had been alerted where he went all along, and they appear suddenly. All these, I think it's 3 X-Wings appear, and so they're not able to destroy the Mandalorian and shoot him down and kill him, destroy the Razor Crest. But guess who the X-Wing pilots are? Guess who? Dave Filoni, the other director, Rick Furuyama, and Deborah Chow. That is so awesome that 3 of the directors appear at the end of the episode as X-Wing pilots, and it's great. They ended up saving the day. They destroy the gunship that's about to, shoot down the Mandalorian. Then the Mandalorian, of course, leaves. He goes into hyperspace. And then suddenly, right at the end, you have another cliffhanger. He goes back to the prison ship, and you see all the characters. You see Mayfield, you see Berg, you see Shihan. You find out that he didn't kill them. He just put them back in a prison cell. How cool is that? The Mandalorian did not kill them. So I'm kind of surprised he didn't. And it would have been cool if he did kill them. But it was even better that he didn't. So, because later they could come up in other episodes. So, I don't know, Mando, you're getting soft. You probably should have killed him. Because now if they ever break out, they're going to come after you. You have some enemies out there. Anyway, that was it for this review and reaction and full breakdown of The Mandalorian Chapter 6. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you don't like it, that's okay. And also subscribe to this channel so that you're notified every time we upload a video. And remember, next weekend for the Rise of Skywalker, we're going to be in Dallas, Texas at Order 66 Toys. Thank you guys so much. I'm Eric Walker for All for Sci-Fi. Have a great week. I can't wait to discuss Chapter 7 and 8. Until then, as they say at the Black Spire Outpost, till the spires. May the Force be with you, always.